In Capital News tonight, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has directed government lawyers to address disputes affecting investment projects without delay. Hundreds of people in Dar es Salaam today turned up for heart screen at the Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute. And in sports, 2 Tanzanian officials will officiate under-17 CAF qualifiers. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Carlos Banda. First, the national news. The President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, has directed the Attorney General to review the law that protects investors, as it has contributed to turn away some investors, and for lawyers to address disputes without delay in order to safeguard investment projects and grow the country's economy. President Samia Suluhu Hassan gave the directives in Dodoma when opening the first meeting of the Association of Government Lawyers.
Lakini kwenye hiki kituo cha usuluhishi, naomba nizungumze hapa mwanasheria mkuu. Nchi yetu sasa inaingia.
In this arbitration center, let me speak on this, Attorney General. Our country is getting into very big contracts with foreign countries. It is true that our laws require, when there is a disagreement with the investor, he is supposed to use our internal laws. But if he's coming with a lot of money and invests inside the country, and when there is a disagreement, you tell him that I will be the one to judge you. This doesn't paint a good picture to the investors. Some are running away because of that. I have 3 such examples where investors came with a lot of money.
Kuwa wakili wa serikali ni heshima kubwa sana. Sio kila mtu anapata heshima hiyo. Nyinyi wachache.
Few of you are now representing all citizens. Therefore, by becoming state attorneys, you must go with the responsibility. Your responsibility is to serve the government. However, honor the law and be.
Haitoshi kuwa na sheria nzuri ambayo haitekelezwi.
It is not enough to have a good law which is not honored or meet the objectives. We must not practice laws that don't bear fruits intended by lawmakers.
As Tanzania marks Heart Day, hundreds of citizens have turned up at the heart screening camp in Dar es Salaam held at the Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute, with those found to have heart problems advised to start treatment.
Kuongeza uelewa kuhusu magonjwa ya moyo katika jamii, katika wale watu wanaotuzunguka, ili tuweze kuzuia kupata magonjwa ya moyo. Hapa maadhimisho haya leo yamefanyika hapa katika taasisi ya moyo ya Jakaya Kikwete, lakini dhana kubwa ni kujizuia ili tusiweze kupata magonjwa ya moyo.
Kutokana na maendeleo ya kiuchumi na ukuaji wa teknolojia, bado masuala ya lishe na magonjwa yasiyo ya kuambukiza, hasa magonjwa ya moyo, ni changamoto. Kunakuwa na taarifa nyingi ambazo kwa kiwango kikubwa sio sahihi kwa wagonjwa wetu wanaopata matibabu ya moyo.
Na ndio maana huu ugonjwa unaua kimya kimya, unaitwa silent killer. Hapa mimi na uhakika baadhi yenu mmekuja leo mmesikia kuna hii kambi, asubuhi hamkunywa dawa. Unasema nitakunywa nikirudi. Kiharusi akisubiri wewe paka urudi. Mshtuko wa moyo hausubiri wewe paka urudi. Ushauri wangu mkubwa, ukiamka tu asubuhi, wewe chukua dawa zako, kunywa, hayo yanayofuatia baadaye wewe afanye baada ya kunywa dawa.
The Parliamentary Committee of Industry, Trade and Environment has called on the government to come up with strategies that will attract investors into the pharmaceutical industries in order to improve access of medicines in the country and reduce importations of medicines.
Tutapata ajira kwa watu wetu. Lakini 3, tutaongeza kiwango cha kodi kwenye nchi yetu na vitu vingine. Kwa hiyo tunaamini, tunaisiria serikali. Bahati nzuri yuko mtu mwenzetu naibu waziri hapa atatusaidia atakapopeleka kwenye baraza la mawaziri kwa serikali kwamba tuongeze kasi ya kuongeza viwanda, sio vya dawa tu, hata vya sekta mbalimbali.
tumeona namna ambavyo wana support miradi ya mazingira ya ndani ya wilaya hii na maeneo mengine. Kwa hiyo maana yake nichukue fursa hii ni washauri na niwaelekeze viwanda vingine na wao wawe wanatenga fungu maalumu kwanza kwa ajili ya kuhuisha miradi ya mazingira.
Sisi kama serikali ya wilaya tumepokea maelekezo hayo na tutaendelea kusimamia kuhakikisha viwanda vyote ambavyo vinafanya kazi wilaya Kinondoni moja kufuata sheria na utaratibu wa mazingira ili wasiweze kuathiri wananchi wetu. Kwanza kuhakikisha watirishi kemikali kwenda baharini kwa sababu baharini kuna viumbe hai.
The 11th group of the pastoralist community, comprising of 123 people and more than 200 livestock who have agreed to leave Ngorongoro Conservation Area, have left today to be relocated at Msomela village in Handeni district, Tanga region. Among those moving to Msomela village include the parents of Judge of the High Court of Tanzania, Amani Laitaika. Beg your pardon.
Namshukuru rais wetu.
I commend Honorable President, the National Park and the government for what they have done. Now we will be able to live comfortably. More people are now eager to move to Msomera. Therefore, we urge Suma JKT to increase the pace at which they are building houses, as the plan to move people from Ngorongoro depends at the pace at which houses are being built. There are more people applying to leave. What I would like to assure you is all of you will leave, and you shall do so in phases.
The National Housing Corporation NHC has started to implement the Samia Housing Scheme project that aims to construct more than 5,000 houses in all regions at a cost of more than 400 billion shillings to be purchased by people with low incomes. This was revealed at the Mining Technology Fair in Geita region.
We expect to build 5,000 houses through the Samia Housing Scheme. This project is expected to create not less than 26,000 jobs. The first phase is in Dar es Salaam this year. After that, we will move to Dodoma. We've therefore come to this exhibition so people are informed.
Hiyo ni wito wangu kwa hao wachimbaji na wahusika wengine.
We urge miners and all those in need of protective clothing to use this type of protective clothing because it protects one against injury or illness.
The government has pledged to address marine transportation challenges faced by residents of Ukerewe in Mwanza region to starting the process for a jetty construction project to be implemented at various ports.
Bandari yetu hii tulishaifanyia visibility study na design.
A feasibility study was done on this port and design. In the coming budget, this is amongst one of the ports to have modern docks to meet the need of passengers.
Binafsi kama shirika la wakala wa meli Tanzania,
we have a big responsibility to take care of safety and security of passengers and our vessels. Vessel owners must adhere to safety standards. In Ukerewe, we need another vessel in City Tunnel. By improving this port, it will help the economy to grow.
Hundreds of residents from various areas of Dodoma City have turned up to voice their grievances on land disputes at a meeting with a special committee formed by the government to address land disputes, with the residents calling on the committee to resolve the disputes ethically.
Na tayari hayo malalamiko kwa sababu tumeshasikiza wananchi, tumechukua vielelezo, tayari tuna timu nyingine ndogo ambayo inafanya uchambuzi.
We have a smaller team which is going through companies, which is going through complaints and how to address them. A lot of complaints on compensation and others on ownership.
Kulikuwa kuna maboresho kule na kuna kampuni ambayo ilikuwa inafanya hiyo kazi.
Kwa kamati ambayo ameunda sasa hivi, namshukuru Mungu kwa sababu hii swala tayari ilikuwa.
In order to deal away with this issue, local government leaders must be brought under control.
Tanzania Educational Authority (TEA) has contributed to the Namthamini campaign implemented by East African Television. 1,500 female sanitary pads to benefit 125 students throughout the year. Speaking at EATV offices in Mikocheni, Dar es Salaam, the Director General of TEA, Bahati Geuzie, said that they are supporting the campaign in order to enable girl students in difficult conditions to attend classes throughout the year.
La kampeni hii ni kuweza kuwasaidia wanafunzi wa kike kuweza kuhudhuria masomo siku zote wanazotakiwa kusoma bila kukatisha masomo kutokana na kuwa katika hedhi. Na tunaelewa kabisa kwamba jambo hili ni muhimu kwa sababu watoto wengi wanakuwa, hasa wale ambao wako katika mazingira yasiofikika kirahisi na mazingira ya pembezoni, wanakuwa hawana uwezo wa kuzipata zile taulo za kike.
Sasa tunajenga picha ni mazingira gani wanayoishi au vitu gani ambavyo wanapitia watoto wa kike hawa wa Tanzania na vitu gani ambavyo wanavitumia. Kwa kweli tunaendelea kusisitiza sisi East Africa Radio, East Africa TV kwa pamoja tunaomba muendelee kuchangia wa Tanzania kokote unapoguswa ili tuendelee kumbakisha mtoto wa kike huyu shuleni.
And that is the end of the national news. We'll take a short break and return for international news. Welcome back, and now international news. Hurricane Ian left a path of destruction in southwestern Florida, trapping people in flooded homes and knocking out power to 2.5 million people. More on the report. Hit the United States, barreled across the Florida peninsula overnight on Wednesday, threatening a catastrophic flooding inland. The hurricane turned streets into rivers and blew down trees as it slammed into southwest Florida with 241 km/h winds. It dropped to a tropical storm early Thursday over land, but was expected to intensify again once its center moves over the Atlantic Ocean and menaces the South Carolina coast on Friday at near hurricane strength. Heading in Kenya, President William Ruto of Kenya has directed the National Treasury to cut 300 billion Kenyan shillings from the 2022-23 budget to relieve the country's spending and borrowing pressures. President Ruto gave the directive at his first joint parliamentary sitting since elected into office. On revenue mobilization, President William Ruto proposed reforms that aim to move the country in the right direction.
The other election, 29 women were elected members of the National Assembly. 6.
Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said President Vladimir Putin of Russia will formally annex 4 partially Russian-occupied regions of Ukraine on Friday, a move already rejected by Kiev and its Western allies as illegal and meaningless. More on the story. To mark the incorporation of Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson and Zaporizhia into Russia will take place at 3 p.m. Moscow time. Treaties will be signed alongside the Moscow-appointed administrators of the Ukrainian regions at the Kremlin's St. George Hall. The move was widely expected following annexation votes that ended on Tuesday in the 4 regions. Ukraine has dismissed the votes as a sham and promised to punish traitors who assisted in organizing them, as it promised to extend its counter-offensive. A United Nations tribunal in The Hague has opened the genocide trial of a Rwandan businessman captured 2 years ago after decades of being on the run, with judges saying the hearing must go on despite the suspect's decision to boycott it from his jail cell. More on the report. Felician Kabuga, a former businessman and radio station owner, is one of the last suspects sought by the tribunal prosecuting crimes committed in the 1994 genocide, when ruling Hutu majority fighters killed more than 800,000 minority Tutsis and Hutu moderates in 100 days. Kabuga, who is in his mid to late 80s, was arrested in May 2020 in Paris between COVID-19 lockdowns and extradited to The Hague, where he entered a not guilty plea. Prosecutors have charged the former coffee and tea tycoon with 3 counts of genocide and with 2 counts of crime against humanity, primarily for promoting hate speech through his broadcaster, radio television Libre de Melis Collins RTLM. And that is the end of the international news. We'll take a very short break and return for business news. Welcome back, and now business news. Tanzania Breweries Limited (TBL) has said evaluation on its agriculture program that focused on millet, barley and grape crops has contributed to value addition and benefited many farmers, with the government pledging to continue to support efforts made by various stakeholders to develop the sector.
This shows how farmers in this project have benefited from contract farming because they are paid on time. To increase export value of farm produce from $1.2 billion to $5 billion in 2030.
The government, through the Ministry of Investment, Industry and Trade, has met and held talks with the 27 companies from Italy that have shown interest in investing in various sectors in the country, including agriculture and industries.
The Dar es Salaam leg of this Italy-Tanzania Business and Investment Forum that has the aim to create and improve economic bilateral ties between our two wonderful countries. We are looking forward to working with you in order to create even more economic exchange and to create, thanks to our common knowledge.
Leo kuna ujumbe wa wafanyabiashara kampuni zipatazo kama 27 kutoka Italia ambao wamekuja nchini kwa ajili ya kutafuta fursa mbalimbali za biashara na uwekezaji. Kwa hiyo kati ya kampuni hizi kuna wengine wanakuja kutafuta fursa za kuwekeza kwenye maeneo ya nishati, lakini wengine kwenye maeneo ya kilimo, utalii na kadhalika. Kwa hiyo tumejumuika nao hapa ili tuweze kujua kwa undani ni maeneo gani hasa ambayo wangependa kuwekeza na aina ya vibali na leseni ambazo wanahitaji ili tuweze kuwasaidia kuweza kuanzisha miradi yao ya uwekezaji.
Livestock keepers in Babati District, Manyara region have been urged to register their animals so that they can access reliable international markets for meat and dairy products.
Mtakapovisha hivi vifaa vitasaidia kutangaza mifugo yetu kwa wale wanaotaka kufanya biashara.
This will help advertise our livestock to those who want to do international business in herd. So this will help increase the price of our livestock, so you get a strong market. We are ready to complete this exercise within 60 days. So by November 15th, this exercise should be complete.
And that is the end of the business news. We'll take a short break and return for sports news. Welcome back, and now sports news. Tanzanian international officials Ahmed Arajiga and Kasim Panga have been selected to officiate the CAPITALTV Under-17 AFCON qualifiers, which will take place in Ethiopia. Here is more.
The two officials have impressed in the Premier League enough for the Confederation of African Football to select them for the Under-17 competition, which Tanzania will participate. Ahmed Arajiga was last season's best referee in the TFF Awards.
Tyson Fury has urged Anthony Joshua to give British fans what they want and sign a contract for a heavyweight title fight in December. Here is more.
WBC champion 34-year-old Fury had given fellow Briton Joshua an ultimatum to sign by Monday, but said on social media he has extended the deadline to Thursday. 32-year-old Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearns says he is baffled by Fury's latest demands. "The ball is in your court, everything is done," said Fury. Joshua's team have already verbally accepted Fury's offer of a 60-40 purse split for fight on 3rd of December, and television executives from BT Sport and streaming service DAZN were scheduled to meet on Monday.
Denmark will wear toned-down shirts for the World Cup to protest against host Qatar's human rights record and its treatment of migrant workers. Here are more details.
Kit provider Hummel has also designed a third all-black kit to represent the color of mourning. Hummel said it does not wish to be visible in a tournament it claims has cost thousands of lives. Denmark's training kit sponsors will also withdraw their logos to give room for messages critical of Qatar. Qatar officials have previously disputed the figures on the death of migrant workers working on World Cup facilities, saying the actual total figure at the time in 2021 was 37.
Arsenal midfielder Emile Smith-Rowe has had surgery on a groin injury, and the club hope he will return to training during December. Here is more on the story.
The 20-year-old has made 4 brief substitute outings this season. In the last of those, which was a defeat at Manchester United, he suffered a significant setback. In recent months, Emile Smith-Rowe has been experiencing discomfort in his groin, which has limited his training and match appearances, said Arsenal.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and good night.
Capital News at 9:30 and get updated on what is happening in Tanzania and around the world on political, social, and economic issues and events, without forgetting business and sports news. You can get it all right here on Capital News at 9:30 from Monday to Friday on Zuku Channel 067, Digitech Channel 1103, and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania. Kwenye kingamuzi cha DSTV, ITV inapatikana kwenye channel 383. Kwenye kingamuzi cha Azam, ITV inapatikana kwenye channel 408. Kwenye kingamuzi cha Zuku, ITV inapatikana kwenye channel 065 na Capital TV kwenye channel 067.
ITV daima, super brand Afrika Mashariki.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters.
Sasa unaweza kutangaza biashara yako hapa ITV ukiwa popote Tanzania. Wasiliana na mawakala wetu wa mikoani.
Moshi Boisafi Shopping Center 0767552551 au 0764150743. Talanta Insurance Agents wapo barabara ya Posta, jengo la Fresh Coach Moshi, 0767421822 au 0677480717. JM Communication wapo Marangu Mtoni, 0754841319 au 0762013679. Arusha Lihundi Communication 0757200769. Megatop Agents 0754300810 au 0784